What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Grind Fantasy official live stream for this NBA 7-game slate. Cannot wait to break it down. And what a slate we already have. Injury news just pouring out of our eyeballs, TJ. I cannot wait to break this down. Happy Monday to every single person out there. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Let's go ahead and just dive right into the slate, TJ. I'm assuming you jumped on crunching these Houston numbers while we were waiting. Is that correct?
Not yet. I was doing Washington with the confirmed everything, and then I'm doing Chicago right now with Michael Carter in.
He is in. Okay.
Wendell Carter. Excuse me. I don't know why I said Michael Carter. So I haven't gotten to Houston yet.
Okay. So I did Cleveland, the Clippers, and yep. I also did. I'm assuming you did those.
Yep.
Okay, and we are just waiting on the news that just came in from Houston. So now Houston will have a ton of minutes to go around on top of the injuries that we already have from Oladipo and Wood. So TJ, let's go ahead and bounce around the NBA then. Starting from the top, we have John Wall projected at 35.6% ownership. Let's go ahead and skip them and just wait for the minutes to update. Let's start with Cleveland because they have some major injury news. We have Drummond now officially going to the San Antonio Spurs, so cannot wait to have him. Okay. No, sorry, I was dreaming earlier. So I mean, we'll take anybody at this point. What do you mean? Do I want Drummond? I want anybody with eyeballs. I mean, if that's what you want. Anybody other than DeRozan, is that what you want to do here? Let's start with Cleveland now. We know that Drummond is now inactive for Cleveland for the foreseeable future. We have Jarrett Allen right now at 28.8% or 24.8% ownership. We have Garland 22.6% ownership, and we also have Cedi Osman now at 15.8% ownership. So TJ, when you take Drummond, Kevin Love, Nance, and Delly off the court, what are we looking at? Are we looking at a similar picture to what we saw last night?
Yeah, somewhat. We still have to keep in mind that Taurean Prince is now questionable. He found his way on the injury report not too long ago. So something we have to also monitor because a guy like Cedi could find his way into the starting lineup if Prince is out. So that's obviously something we need to monitor, Matt. But yeah, so when we're looking at all those guys off the floor, you talked about the guys that I'm really honing in on are going to be Garland, who gets a 3.2% usage bump, 1.02 fantasy points per minute, and only at 5,500 projected at 34 minutes. I really like him in this spot. 26.8% total usage. I have him as a 6.5 value, 35.8 DraftKings points. So I do like me some Darius Garland tonight. JaVale McGee, Matt, at 3,100, carrying some ownership, and rightfully so, 1.35 fantasy point per minute. Saw him last night in the short amount of time that he did play. He played 16 minutes, easily hit value. So again, I think he's in the same spot at 3,100. I think a lot of people are going to go to him. And then obviously you talked about Jarrett Allen, 1.3% usage bump with all those guys off the floor. No Drummond in the picture, 1.23 fantasy point per minute, 20% usage. I have him pegged for about 35 DraftKings points. So I think there's a lot of decent options here for Cleveland in a tough road matchup against Golden State, but I think there could be some points to be scored. I really like Darius Garland for cash if you're going there he's showing a lot of ownership and rightfully so. So I think that would be my play. The Jarrett Allen price tag is a little rich, but again, we do have to keep in mind that he is going up against Golden State without Wiseman and without Looney still. So going up against Draymond at the 5. So I do like that matchup there for Jarrett Allen. The ownership, Matt, right now on Roto is 3%. For Jarrett Allen.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So he's showing 25% ownership for me. So I think that's more realistic.
Okay. Yeah, I think he should be a little bit higher owned than 3%. I think you can go to him if you want to, because I do like this matchup a lot. Cedi Osman is the guy that I'm also going to be keeping an eye on. If Prince is out, I would expect him to play 30 plus minutes. If he does get the start. So right now I do like Garland. I have some interest in Sexton. And I obviously have some interest in Jarrett Allen, and then and JaVale McGee also at 3,100. Even if he plays 15 minutes, I don't see why he can't not hit value against a big list Golden State Warriors team.
Yeah, I think Cleveland is a great place to start, TJ. I completely agree with everything you just said. Jarrett Allen being the biggest benefactor with Drummond off the court, but someone that we talked about last night for the sole reason that he is blowout proof, and he did prove to be blowout proof last night because Cleveland did get blown out, was JaVale McGee. He ended up playing plus 11 minutes, played 16, played some run in the fourth. So that 3.1K, definitely in the exact same situation, TJ, as last night. So I think he's a very safe bet for GPPs, and for also I do think he could potentially be cash viable. Assuming that Taurean Prince also does set, you could see him slide into some more power forward, center minutes in that rotation. Darius Garland, like you said, 22.6% owned, and also Cedi Osman if Taurean Prince is ruled out are fantastic options. So let me ask you this, TJ, as of right now, how many guys are you going to be considering from Cleveland for cash?
Well, now I'm really interested in Houston and their cheap guys, so I kind of want to try and figure that picture out because the Houston game is more enticing, I think, against Washington. I think it has a better opportunity to stay close there in terms of the output opposed to that Cleveland Golden State game. So I think my interest more relies here in Houston and the cheaper guys opposed to Cleveland and the cheaper guys. But, if Prince is out, I would love Cedi. I really do just like Garland here and then potentially Jared Allen.
Yep, I also like them.
And McGee, sorry, and McGee, yeah.
And we also have to keep in mind that the Houston game does have a higher over-under, and like you said, it is going to be more competitive. So a 231.5 over-under. This game's a 227.5, so a little bit lower on the totem pole in terms of scoring. Cleveland is 9-point underdogs right now, so it does have some blowout potential as well, which we talked about earlier. I want to move over to some of the late night hammer action that we have with Brooklyn and Sacramento. This game did open up at a 237, which was crazy. When I first looked at it this morning, I was like, how are these guys not over 240 plus easily? And sure enough, right now it's at a 243. Let's go ahead and talk about the chalk here. We are without Kevin Durant. That definitely does impact the picture here. With Brooklyn, DeAndre Jordan is probable. We're expecting him to play, so only this significant injury coming from Durant. So let's talk about this picture, TJ. With these guys off the court, who are you favoring? Are you going to finally bite the bullet here and finally get behind the Kyrie Irving chalk rather than James Harden?
Yeah, I might have to. He's so cheap, and it's a really good matchup against Sacramento. So I do like Kyrie. The ownership obviously makes sense here, Matt. With no KD on the floor, he's a 4% usage bump, 1.33 fantasy point per minute, and a 32.5% total usage. I'm pegged for 49.75 DraftKings points. So if you are landing on Kyrie and cash at 9K, I definitely don't hate it. Harden also looks pretty interesting at 10-7, but yes, I will agree with you here. Kyrie would be my favorite play. I do have some interest in DJ as long as he's good to go and he starts. Like him going up against those Sacramento bigs is always intriguing. So I'll be on him for tournaments. But besides that, Matt, I think it's just going to be tournament plays. I think Kyrie and cash is the way I'm going. Like Joe Harris at a low ownership at 5,400 in a shooters type game against Sacramento intrigues me a little bit. So I think that's where I would be going for tournaments. But yeah, Kyrie for cash, it's hard to say no with that price tag and in the matchup against Sacramento.
When you take Kevin Durant off the court, TJ, I'm sure you see this too. They literally average the exact same fantasy points per minute at 1.41. So Kyrie Irving and James Harden, as of right now, are the exact same person playing on this team, which just leads me to like Kyrie Irving just more at that price tag, $9,000, just because he's a little bit more aggressive, does have a higher usage rate than James Harden as well. So all the signs point to Kyrie Irving being the more cash viable. I'd say load up on James Harden for GPPs, TJ. That's going to be my stance for tonight. But yeah, everybody else GPP options. I do think DeAndre Jordan is going to be cash viable, especially if he plays over 25 minutes, which we do expect him to do. We have him right now at a 5.7 point per dollar value in the pace-up matchup. There should be no reason, TJ, he should not hit value against the Sacramento Kings unless he does get in foul trouble. These guys have the highest point total on the slate, 123.5, and I would load up on these guys as a late night hammer. Right now, they are projected, or they're expected to start at 10 o'clock, and they are a 4-point favorite, so this game is expected to go the distance. So really do like this matchup in terms of the pace of the game as well. So let's switch over, TJ. Do you have the Houston numbers crunched yet?
I don't have updated minutes or anything.
Okay,
I'm showing that PJ Tucker's out. Have we gotten news that PJ Tucker is out?
I think he was ruled out while we were about to go live.
That was Eric Gordon got ruled out. PJ Tucker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker is out. Yep.
Are we sure that he's out? Because I haven't seen
listed out Monday. It's from Fantasy Labs. 12 months or 12 months. 12 minutes.
Months ago. Yeah, all right, 12 months ago he's been ruled out.
Might as well be ruled out 12 months ago. Is that what you want?
I mean, he's irrelevant anyways.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to impact that picture, and we will get to that picture here in a little bit. The Clippers, TJ, you want to move over there while we wait?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Clippers are without Pat Bev and the two superstars with the Clippers, just like last night. So let me just hear it, TJ. Who's your favorite plays from this team? There's a lot of them.
Yeah, so we have no Bev, we have no PG, and obviously we have no Kawhi now. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good plays here, Matt. I think Ibaka at 5K would probably be my favorite here. Tough matchup against Miami, but he's so cheap. And hold on, There we go. Okay. So we have Ibaka currently projected at 28 minutes, Matt, at 5K. He's only showing 2% ownership, which is just absolutely
No,
absurd. I don't know what
that's different over
we
here
have.
too. 21.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So 5.8% usage bump, 1.37 fantasy point per minute, and a pretty healthy sample size too. I have him pegged for 40.6 DraftKings points at 5K, so I love him. I absolutely love Lou Williams too, projected at 33 minutes at 6,400, 3.8% usage bump, 1.2 fantasy point per minute, highest usage on the team at 30%. Have him pegged for 41 DraftKings points. I like Marcus Morris. I like Batum. Reggie Jackson's interesting at 4,900, projected 31 minutes. He gets a 1.2% usage bump, 0.96 fantasy point per minute. So I have him pegged for 30 DraftKings points. And then Kennard, Matt, I have Kennard at 29 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I have 28, so it's about the same.
Okay, so perfect. 4.8% usage bump, 0.89 fantasy point per minute, 27 DraftKings points is what I have him projected for. So I love Lou Williams. I love Ibaka. I really like Kennard. I really like Reggie Jackson. I have interest in Morris. I have interest in Batum. Terrence Mann in the mix too, getting some minutes. I mean, I have a lot of interest in the Clippers.
Yeah, I have a ton of interest as well. Just the over-under does scare me, TJ, which makes me think that these guys are going to be definitely more GPP viable. I do think that some of these guys are cash viable, don't get me wrong. Sure. But in terms of ownership, TJ, I think these guys are going to be all very low owned, including that of Ibaka. He's the highest owned right now at 21%. Reggie Jackson, 16.1%. Lou Will, 15.7%. So all these ownerships are very, very low for these guys. No respect yet. And I think that the ownership's going to fly even more under the radar once we hear the picture here with Houston. But yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said, TJ. All right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got 7 games, so I think the ownership's kind of dispersed right now. Obviously, we have the Houston news, Washington with Westbrook on a little bit of a minute restriction there.
That's
we got Brooklyn and Sacramento carrying a monster over under. So yeah, if these guys are gonna go low on for the Clippers, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and make sure that the minutes aren't updated from Houston. And it looks like they actually are updated for me, TJ. So do you want to hear them?
All right, you want to, hit me with those real quick?
All right, John. Okay.
Where are they on my sheet?
They are non-existent.
I feel like I'm looking at court IQ. Okay, so I have no Eric Gordon. And I have no PJ Tucker. And no Waba, Sterling Brown, Mason Jones. Matt, we can throw him on the sheet.
Mason Jones, our favorite player.
M. Jones.
Marvin Jones, too.
Marvin Jones. All right, so Wall, 34?
35, yep.
Okay.
Tate.
Boogie?
Okay, Boogie is 27.
Okay. Tate
is 33.
Wow. House?
33.
Okay. Sterling Brown?
28.
Okay. Nwaba?
28.
Okay. Mason Jones? Oh, Ben McLemore. Okay.
McLemore, 19.
Ooh.
Mason Jones, 17. And the rest are irrelevant.
I think that's it, honestly.
Yep. The rest are playing 11 minutes, and that's not worth talking about. We have Kurux.
Kurux. Okay.
Kurux, yeah, whatever. Spalding, not the basketball.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yep. All right.
Irrelevant, yes.
Yep. I'm going to compute as well. Let's see who can do it faster.
Okay. Well, I can't find Daniel House because I'm blind. Okay, found him. Sterling Brown. Waba. McLemore. And Mason. M. Jones. Marvin Jones. Where's Marvin Jones? Okay.
Don't forget James Harden.
Oh, yeah, James Harden. I got to put James Harden on the court. So Wall's only a 37-minute sample size.
Yep.
Oh, man. Boogie, hello. Good Lord.
Yeah. So here's my thing, TJ. So all these guys are showing very low minutes, under 40. Who are we keeping on? You want to keep on PJ Tucker? I feel like he's going to be the guy to keep on.
Who did you take off?
Everybody.
Because I have Sterling Brown at 107 minutes, Mason Jones at 94, McLemore 84, Tate 74, Boogie 70, Nwaba 57. So I don't necessarily think it's bad, but it's not the best sample size.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right. I'm going to do it
Jones
with
a 1.03, just so you know.
Yeah, I see.
I took off Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, Oladipo, and Christian Wood. If you want to keep PJ Tucker on, that's fine. That would be the guy that I would recommend keeping on, just because he's going to be the lowest usage in fantasy point per minute.
All right.
But I mean, that's going to affect. I guess it really doesn't. And that does give us a better. Okay, let's do that. We'll keep PJ Tucker on. He's irrelevant anyways. He's absolutely irrelevant. Boogie's a 1.6.
And just like we
okay,
thought,
so
we're about to say hi to Houston Chalk Night, guys, as I look at these numbers.
Yep. Daniel House, 0.84. Call it a 0.88. Sterling Brown, I'm going to call Sterling Brown a 1 fantasy point per minute.
Okay.
It's a 0.97, but he was better with PJ Tucker off the floor. Nawaba, 0.71. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you're essentially looking at John Wall, Boogie, Tate, Sterling Brown, and the House all looking like really good plays, Matt. I would obviously love John Wall. We would have him projected at 50 DraftKings points right now, which is just absolutely absurd. He gets a 9% usage bump without Eric Gordon, Oladipo, and Wood. And then if you add PJ Tucker into that equation getting ruled out, he gets an 11% usage bump. So we're going to call it a 10% usage bump. 1.29 fantasy point per minute in a 76-minute sample size. 38.8% usage. And so I have him pegged for 49.7 DraftKings points.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Wall. Boogie now at 6,200. I'm going to roster him. 2.3% usage bump, 1.64 fantasy point per minute, 27.7% usage rate. So I love Boogie. And then I think it's going to be, Tate, House, Sterling Brown. Like I think all those guys are viable. So yes, I love Houston tonight.
Yep. Here's the question though. How many? And when do we draw that line? Or where do
so
we
that's
draw
always
that line?
the question. So in terms of prioritizing, I'm probably gonna want like 4 of these guys if I'm running a 1-line.
Yep.
It would be Wall. It would be Boogie. It's probably gonna be one of Tate, House, and Sterling Brown, and then I probably want Nawaba honestly at 3,600. So Wall and Boogie definitely.
Ownership's updated, by the way. So okay. Yeah,
Wall and Boogie definitely. And then Tate, House, Sterling Brown, Nawaba. I'd pick 2 of those 4. That's what I would do.
Yep, I agree. I think John Wall and Boogie Cousins are now cash locks for me. I think both of those guys make perfect sense, and we just saw what Boogie Cousins does with all these guys off the court. Daniel House and Tate for me, just because of minutes. The minutes are the most important thing for me, TJ. But Nawaba and Sterling Brown, completely agree with you. I think they're great GPP options right now. They're showing 19.9% ownership, and Sterling Brown showing 13.7% ownership. So staying very low, but the price tags are very easy to get to as well. Sterling Brown, if he does end up starting, do we know the starting lineup yet for these guys?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do. Okay. What is that?
Yep, we have
lineup?
John Wall, Tate, Nawaba, Daniel House, and Boogie.
Okay, so he's not starting. So yeah. It's just the price tags make more sense for starters, as I think you can agree with that. But Sterling Brown, very productive. I might even want him coming off the bench, DJ, against Washington. Yep. The Washington bench is absolutely dreadful. So yeah, great GPP plays all the way around. But yeah, I think Houston is definitely going to be the play, mixed with some Cleveland, and then also Brooklyn, and you got yourself a cash lineup for tonight. Everything else, in my opinion, TJ, is going to be GPP. Everything. For sure. Across the board. Let's talk about GPP options. Switching over to Washington with Russell Westbrook not off the court, but limited in minutes. Does that affect the Washington picture at all for you, TJ?
Yeah, I think it does. I think that gives me a little more interest, obviously, in a guy like Bradley Beal. We don't really know what his minute limit is going to look like on this back-to-back. He only played 29 minutes against the Celtics yesterday. So I think putting him at like 30 minutes is a safe number. So obviously Bradley Beal at 8,900 playing more minutes probably could play 38 if this game stays competitive.
Usage,
I would obviously at 8,900, a little bit of a higher usage as well. 1.33 fantasy point per minute with just Ish Smith off the floor. But now you're taking into consideration maybe 10, 12 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes, not alongside Russell Westbrook. So I do like Bradley Beal in tournaments at 8,900. Bertans at 4,700 interests me. Rue also interests me a little bit at 5,800, but I think I'd go Bertans here, a shooter in this type of game at 4,700. I do like Denny. I also am interested in Garrison Matthews. Like I have some interest in some of these cheaper Washington guys. Mo Wagner starting again, gave him great minutes against the Celtics. I don't see why he couldn't do it again tonight against Boogie in Houston. So yeah, I really do like Bradley Beal, Matt. If you're landing there at 8,900, I think he's a really good play.
Yeah.
And then some of these cheaper guys, I think could have some pretty big nights, especially with Westbrook on a minute limit.
Yeah, this is just a battle of bad defenses. The defensive efficiency for both these teams is just dreadful. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Mo Wagner, another option here, 21 minutes, 3.2K. TJ, very, very good value-wise, at least on our sheet.
Yep.
So I do like him as well. But yeah, I think Bradley Beal is a great pay-up option today. I think regardless of if Westbrook happened to play 35 minutes, I still love that price tag on him in general, $8,900. But when you add that in, that he's only going to be playing, tops 30 minutes or so, TJ, I absolutely love Bradley Beal tonight. $8,900, a great, if you're going to be stacking this game, it's a great stacking method to start with here. Bradley Beal coming back with all these Houston guys for sure.
Love that.
But yeah, and also we didn't even talk about this. John Wall's playing Washington. Russell Westbrook is playing Houston. So if you want to throw into the revenge narrative, if you guys believe in that, well, there you go. Even more fire to the, or fuel to the fire here.
Fire to the fuel.
Yes. Yeah. John Wall did some great things when he played Washington last time. In only 24 minutes, scored 35 DK points for what it is worth. So definitely like him here in this matchup a lot. But yeah, I think the rest, like I said, TJ, is going to be GPP plays. Do you want to start talking GPP plays? It's almost 6.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Every single one of these teams have injuries, starting with Chicago. We have everybody except for Wendell Carter still out for these guys. Zach LaVine gets a usage boost. 35 minutes, 9.2K, a very competitive matchup. Right now, Indiana is only 5-point favorites, so I like him here in this matchup, TJ. I also like Kobe White just because he's projected minutes. Still gets that usage boost, averaging 1.07 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court. Who else do you like from this team? Do you like those two GBP options from Chicago?
So from Chicago in general, Matt, I do like LaVine. I have some interest in Kobe White, and that's probably where I draw the line here. I wish Wendell Carter was playing some more minutes, but he's not. So that kind of throws me off guys like Thad, Patrick Williams. But yeah, LaVine and Kobe White are definitely in play in terms of tournaments.
Yep, and then on the other side of the ball, Indiana, do you have any interest in GPP plays over here?
I mean, it's hard to ignore the minutes that TJ McConnell's been playing, especially as of late, and the productivity that he's had, especially these last couple games here. So at 5K, he interests me a little bit, Matt, at 5,200 against Chicago. I feel like he plays at a little bit of a greater pace than Brogdon. Brogdon kind of likes to slow it down a little bit. McConnell's kind of got that uppity pace to him. So I don't hate him at 5,200, obviously. If Doug McDermott's good to go and plays his minutes at 4,900, I do like him, but I'm not going to load up too much on the Chicago-Indiana game.
Oh, you said you're not going to load up too much.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be loading up here too much.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What game are you looking towards in GPPs?
It's probably going to be the Sacramento side of the ball there against Brooklyn.
Okay. Don't mind that.
Guys like Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield, Matt, like they're not sexy names, and they're guys that are extremely inconsistent, more so Buddy Hield. But in this really interesting matchup against Brooklyn that should be competitive, they're 4-point home dogs. I just can't
bless you, man.
hide. Thank you. Yes. Matt said, bless you. I call it. So Barnes, Hield, Fox, like those are guys I have interest in that really high over under, Matt. And then on the Brooklyn side of the ball, I talked about Joe Harris as a potential good tournament play tonight. The Clippers are the guys that I really want to hone in on in terms of GPPs, especially if they're all going to be lower owned, like Ibaka, Reggie Jackson, Lou Williams, Kennard. Like I really have a lot of interest there in the Clippers with all of those studs being out in PG, Kawhi, and Pat Bev. So, if those ownerships are going to stay low, like the Clippers are probably going to be my team. And then Sacramento as well going up against Brooklyn.
I'm going to reframe my statement, and I'm assuming you are too after you hear this, TJ. Houston now has 5 players at the very top of the ownership board here. So I think 5 you can stack and cash if you guys are playing that. Single entry GBP, I probably wouldn't get as aggressive if you're playing bigger GBPs, but small GBPs, TJ, I can still support it. Nwaba is at the very top now, 40.9% ownership.
Yeah.
John Wall second here at 38.2%. DeMarcus Cousins 35.1%. Daniel House 29.7%, and then Tate at 28% ownership. They just dominated the top 5 spots here, and then we start to get to the Clippers, some Brooklyn guys and Cleveland guys. I think you can play up to 5 players in cash right now with Houston. TJ, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think 4 to 5 is good, Matt.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
okay.
It's just the ownership makes sense. Everybody's going up, so.
Yep. Going back to GPPs though, I just wanted to toss that in there because we're getting updates.
Yes, love that.
Yeah, Sacramento, very great. I love all the picks there. Fox showing 10.7% ownership. This is gonna be, guys. I'm telling you right now, this game could easily break the slate on both sides of the ball. All of these guys are in great spots. All have very high ceiling potential, especially all the shooters. Buddy Hield, I'm even a fan of for once, just because yes, he does shoot. Halliburton, I absolutely love. Harrison Barnes, like you talked about. Yeah, he is very good. $600, and Bagley's technically questionable still. So if he is held out, load up on these guys from Sacramento. Absolutely love the late night hammer tonight. But yeah, some just individual GBP plays just to kind of speed up the stream. We have Jimmy Butler, TJ, still $8,200, still so darn cheap. Playing now, no Kawhi Leonard, so there's going to be no defense for him to have to go through. $8,200, like I said, 13.2%. I think he's a great GBP option. Going down the list here, Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry's always in the picture, $9,900. Yes, this is a high point spread right now, so people are going to be hesitant on both sides of the ball here, which makes Steph Curry's ownership very, very low. Love Draymond Green still benefiting from these guys, assuming he does play, which he should. Going down the list here, we have Philly. Philly technically still has Joel Embiid, questionable. TJ, that's very scary if he's rolled out. Well, prepare for some more Philly chalk, even against the Utah Jazz. With Utah Jazz, I absolutely love, where is his name? Rudy Gobert at $9,200 still, 5.9 point per dollar value, and all these guys are showing very low ownership. What's that?
7,200.
Yeah, $7,200. Did I not say 7,200?
92.
Oh, well. If he was 92, I'd probably like him more for GBPs. Rudy Gobert, though, $7,200, 10.1% ownership. Definitely a great play over there. And then last but not least, I want to talk about the Knicks because they're without Mitchell Robinson. Nerlens Noel is going to definitely fly under the radar. $4,400, 30 minutes, 5.9 point per dollar value. And then also Julius Randle in the pace up spot. TJ's $8,700. I feel like that's almost cash viable as a last piece, just because he's so darn cheap. But those are my favorite GPP plays. I know I just kind of ran through them. Wanted the speed of the stream. Do you agree with all those plays, or do you hate any of those?
I hate all of them. No, I can get behind most of them, Matt. Obviously Nerlens Noel is a guy that might fly under the radar here, 44. And no Mitchell Robinson playing some minutes against Atlanta. I do have a lot of interest there. He was a cash lock for me up until all that Houston news just broke. So it's still somebody that, I'm eyeing. And if he's going to come in at a little bit lower owned, sign me up there. I really like Oubre at 6,500 against Cleveland. I also have a lot of interest in a guy like Donovan Mitchell showing somewhat of a lower ownership at 8K. I really like this matchup for him against Philly, who struggle against guards. So, and no Milton either. Not that would really do anything in my decision making there with Donovan Mitchell. I just really like that matchup there against Philly. So I think that could be somewhat a competitive game if Embiid is in. So maybe targeting some of those Utah guys. I think they're a little bit on the cheaper side, so I can get behind that. So yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell and Oubre are the two guys that I really do like for tournaments, Matt. Obviously, Julius Randle at 8,700 intrigues me. Those Clippers guys, they're going to be low owned. Like, I really like them. Yeah. John Collins at 7K interests me a little bit too. And then Garland also, if he falls by the wayside, load me up some Darius Garland.
And it looks like he will. So yeah, Cleveland becomes more GPP, which is crazy to think about given all the injuries. I just want to reiterate one more time before we get to questions, guys. The Sacramento Brooklyn game is at a 243. The second highest on the list is Houston Washington at a 232. That's an 11-point difference. That is crazy. Okay, late night hammer tonight should work on both sides of the ball for Brooklyn and Sacramento. All right, let's get to questions, TJ. I'm going to go to the Discord, and if you don't mind starting...
Let's do it.
Oh, who else just got ruled out?
Tony Snell. So that's what we're waiting for. Chips, you're not going outside.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back and recalculate. All right, let me get to the questions now.
Let's scroll to the top.
Wait, no questions from you guys? Are we just covering everything?
Wow.
That good? Okay. All right. Well, no questions here. I saw some Super Draft questions. I'm going to calculate some Super Draft projections real quick, TJ, while you answer some questions.
Love it. We got a cash lineup here from Nick. We got Wall, Beal, Nwaba, Osman, Wagner, Harden, Butler, and Noel. Okay, I'm assuming that was before all that Houston news, so that Nick, I assume that's going to change. Grant, all in on Boogie. I love that. Chips, come on, buddy. Work with me. That mustache ain't okay. I gotta let him out. Hold on, Matt. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody.
You're good.
Come here.
You caught me mid crunching some numbers. Sorry guys, this is the part. This is the boring part of the stream. Boom, boom. All right, ready for some super draft content here? Oh, whoa! Did I just see chips? Lou Will, a 1.7 times multiplier, 67.46 projection is what we have him at right now. Joel Embiid at a 1.15, John Collins at a 1.45, Donovan Mitchell, I know TJ was talking about Donovan Mitchell, 1.4 times multiplier, and then Serge Ibaka at a 1.65. So it looks like the Clippers actually have some very good multipliers in Super Draft. Those are going to be my favorite plays as of right now. Lou Will, Joel Embiid still up there with a 1.15. I believe he was off of a multiplier the last slate, which is actually pretty crazy. I'm assuming because he doesn't have that good of a matchup tonight. So they threw a multiplier on him. I'll take that if he does play. John Collins and Donovan Mitchell and Serge Ibaka. Those are my favorite plays in Super Draft.
Nightbot just timed out Deep 3 reviews because he did Corgi and all exclamation points.
Nightbot.
Yeah, Chips was in here trying to take some questions for you, Matt.
Yeah, I
to take
saw
the
that.
load off a little bit, but
Chat is locked for Discord.
Oh,
what does that
Matt,
mean?
You want to get on that? I don't know, but get on it. Figure it out. Chips is out on the porch now, just staring at me. All right, let's get to some of these lineups that we do have here, Matt. Irving and Harden or Wall and Beal? I like Wall and Beal now, honestly. Beal is a lock, said Kevin King. Hi, Kev. Marco with a small GPP/cash, Matt. He's got Wall, Kyrie, Nwaba, Sabonis, Boogie, Garland, Tate, and DJ. I don't hate it, but again, I don't know if that's enough Houston guys. You got Nwaba, Boogie. Oh, no, you have 4. Okay, that's fine. I can get behind that. DJ would be my outlier there, but I do like the matchup. Beal or Kyrie? I think it's going to be Kyrie for me, Tommy. But that's really tough. I'll probably have a one line with both of them in there. I feel like I can a little confident saying that. Mark Anthony, is there a Discord I can join? Yes, Mark. The link is below. Sign up for Patreon, and for $20, you get an invite to our Discord channel and access to all the cheat sheets that we have. It will get you tonight's NBA cheat sheet. So make sure you go ahead and give that link a try, Mark, if that's something you're interested in. Super draft picks, Matt. Just went over that. Ibaka is a bum. Andrew, he is, but at 5K, very cheap, man. And he benefits a lot.
My boy Ibaka?
Andrew Lewis.
Come on, Andrew.
Turning lineup from Blake. Kyrie, Lou, Buddy, Tate, Jared Allen, Fox, Sterling Brown, and Mo Wagner. I like that. How do you guys feel about a 5-3 stack with Houston and Brooklyn? Aaron, there's enough value there. I just don't know if I want to. What?
I don't want to ruin the stream. Top Shot, you can load up on the queue right now.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Excuse me, guys, but is that what Grant just?
Yeah.
What's it called? Is that? So am I not going to get a pack now?
I didn't know this till now. I just queued. You guys are watching this live. For anybody who's Top Shot fans, I don't know what this means. I guess I'm queued now. Anyway,
if anybody likes Top Shot, it's redirecting. I like how Matt, guys, you notice how Matt tells me like after? He doesn't tell me while he's doing it. He's like, hey,
I literally just did it.
Sick. Like, let's make sure. Okay, so now I have to wait an hour and 48 minutes.
Yeah, so do I.
What happens? What happens now?
I don't know. I'm not.
What was the point?
I'm keeping the screen over. I don't know.
Don't click out of it. Keep it up.
Yep.
Okay. Ibaka said Saga. Yes, Ibaka. We do like Ibaka. Mo Wagner, cool. Mo Wagner is cool. Went to Michigan. Hey, Matt, Danny Green sucks, said Aaron.
Yeah, well, I didn't recommend him today, did I?
Okay. Butler or Randall? I think I like Randall. I like them both, though. It's tough. What is... Chips is out there making some noise. DK GPP thoughts. We have Wall, Ingles, Nwaba, Sabonis, Noel, Lou Will, Oubre, and Jared Allen. Fading a lot of Houston chalk, and you're getting away from it. So I do like that, Matt, if that's in a bigger GPP. Joe Harris or Justin Holiday? Joe Harris. Randall or Bam? Mikey, is that you who just asked Randall, or what's it called? Yeah, I like Randall. 5 cash core plays. Matt, Danny wants 5, not 4. Danny, we'll cover those at the end. We'll give you 4
Yep,
cash
Danny Green's going to be in there.
Matt, did you figure out the Did you figure out the
Yes.
YouTube chat?
Yep. I'm
Discord?
getting
Okay,
some
perfect.
questions now.
You were, yeah, because you
um,
were distracted. I could tell.
Yep. If you have to drop one Houston guy 5 down to 4, TJ, which one is best with current ownership? Okay. So the lowest ownership out of those guys is actually going to be Tate, which I actually like Tate a lot. But $4,600 just because of his price tag. Okay. It's because of his price tag. It's going to be a little bit higher than the others. Thoughts for cash: Wall, Irving, Nwaba, Tate, Boogie, Harden, Kennard, House. Okay, so Kennard's not going to be that high owned, but overall I do like that build, TJ. So
I like Kennard, yeah.
Yeah, Kennard's not that bad of a play at all. Wall, Fox, Harden, Temple, House, Jarrett Allen, Morris, Cousins, FanDuel, single entry lineup. Don't know about FanDuel's pricing, but all those plays look very good. Temple, unless he's very, very cheap, I don't usually like Temple just because he's just a shooter. That's all the questions I have.
Okay, perfect. We're confused as to what Chips is doing out on the porch. Let's see what else. Joe Ingles or Nick Batum? That's a tough question, honestly. I want to say Ingles, but the sheet says Batum. And I always hate going against the sheet. I think they're going to play around the same minutes, around that 32, 33-minute mark. Give me Ingles. Give me Ingles.
Okay. I hate going against the sheet, but I'm going to go against the sheet. Okay.
No, they both show really well. I have Batum currently showing as a 28 DraftKings points. Are you really checking the cat? I saw that. And I have Ingles currently projected at 31.57 DraftKings points.
Got it.
So the sheet says Ingles. So I'm going with the sheet. So don't patronize me, please, sir. Sign
up for Patreon.
Hudson's got to sign up for Patreon. Links below. We got a lineup here, Matt. Harden, Terrence Mann, Osman, Bielitsa, Noel, Curry, Butler, Ingles. If that's tournament, sure, but not for cash. And I would not take Bielitsa if Bagley's in. Don't bother with Top Shot. It's whack, said Slothy.
Hey, I just
Kyrie,
made some money.
Lou Will, House, Sabonis, McGee, Wall, Sterling, Brown, and Boogie. I like that. It's probably going to be a chalky lineup. You got Lou and Sabonis in there, actually. Could carry some lower ownership, but both in good spots. Irving, Lou Will, Nwaba, Osman, Cousins, Wall, Butler, Ibaka. I don't hate it. I like Osman a lot more if Prince is out. But I can get behind that. Everyone is waiting for that timer to end, then everyone will be in a random spot in line. Thank you. Okay, that makes sense, Matt. Kalani just told us that. Hudson's got a cash lineup here. Wall, Beal, Nwaba, Tate, Cousins, Kyrie, House, and Garland. I really like that, Hudson. Another lineup from Shamar. We have Fox, Kyrie, Beal, Terrence Mann, Draymond, House, Ibaka, Randall, and Boogie for tournaments. Okay, I like that, Shamar. Hudson killing it. Hudson's always killing it, Mark. You know that. Mark's always in here killing it as well. DV8, we got a tournament lineup here, Matt. Matt, are you paying attention to me?
Yep, I am.
Okay, you sure or are you lying?
I'm lying.
Okay. Wall, Lou Will, Nwaba, House, Boogie, Reggie Jackson, Beal, and Butler.
I like
hate
that.
it, DV8.
Yeah, I actually do like that.
Yeah. David Whitman, we've Harden, Mann, Osman, Beasley. Okay, I already answered that. Yeah, David, only tournaments. Don't run that in cash. No chance. Brandon Farrell, Lou will be priced near 8K without Kawhi and Paul George. He's a cash game. I like that, Brandon. I like that. I can get behind that. I love Lou Will. Even at that price tag, I think it's good. Someone just said I look who? Oh, Nightbot deleted it. Oh, you deleted it. Who said I look pathetic?
Eric.
What else did it say besides you look pathetic?
Pretty much that's it. That's all you need to know.
Was that about my mustache?
He's gone. He's out of here.
Eric, get bent, dude. How about that?
Yeah.
Just simple as that. If you don't have anything nice to say, then get bent, dude.
Get out of here.
You're the one in here giving me the view. So
that's what I was. That's what I was looking at. Just FYI. By the way, we only have 25 likes on this video.
To me?
Yeah, he was.
Is it because of my guys? Leave my mustache alone. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with you guys either.
It's fine. It's trash.
Listen, guys, 25 likes in here, and there's 242 viewers. Come on. Get that like button up.
Matt, can you play both Kyrie and Harden in cash?
In cash. Yeah, you could. Harden's the last piece for cash, though. His ownership's going to be relatively low. He's not going to be that high owned.
The Rockets are horrific to watch, but I'm going to play them anyway. Yes, Matt, I agree with you there. DeAndre Jordan in play. I like DeAndre Jordan for tournament play.
I like DeAndre Jordan. I thought he was cash viable at one point, but he's not anymore. If you have to, so hold on, wrong question. Would you say
Daily
that?
Grind Fantasy Sports put in the chat, Eric, get bent. Okay.
Would you say middling, a middling build, so a middle of the pack build would be super contrarian today? Absolutely, yeah. Anybody in the middle range is going to be very low owned. That whole range, yeah, anywhere from like 5 to like 8K. Nobody's gonna have any ownership in there. And that's all. That's all I got.
Okay. We got a lineup here, Matt. FanDuel tournament.
What is
Fox,
wrong
Wall,
with you guys?
Mitchell, Sexton, Seti, Barnes, Allen, Ibaka, and Boogie for FanDuel tournament. I like that. We got another tourney lineup here from Mark Anthony. Wall, Saturansky, Mitchell, Wiggins, Bogdy, Oubre, Ibaka, Allen, and Capella. Ooh, the Wiggins, Oubre stack. Okay. I can get behind that. That's a middle build right there. I like the Saturansky play. He's been giving Chicago some good minutes. I can get behind that, Mark. How do you guys get your projections on this? Matt, you want to explain that to Blake, how we get our projections?
Fantasy Cruncher, so...
I don't know what on this means.
Yeah.
It's all our sheets behind the scene, my man.
Yeah, I do a lot of
the brainchild.
Well, you guys see us compute our projections like right here in front of us. Usually, we do that. That's something that we do, and then I'll manually put in the projections here on Fantasy Cruncher. I use the upload tab here to switch that over to Super Draft. You just copy and paste everybody from your CSV, and then you paste in the player name and then projection upload, and then it automatically translates over to whatever you want it to.
Yeah, and I do the same thing just on Roto. I have my sheet that I fill out and literally crunch numbers for Matt 85-90% of the field when I do my sheets.
Yep.
So like right now I have 100
borderline psychopath, but hey.
Yeah. I love the numbers, man. Big numbers guy. As a college student, when it comes to shaving, I love the mustache. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you guys, but the stash is kind of creepy. Okay. Demarius, appreciate that. I have 4 Rockets players. Is that too much? I got Wall, Nwaba, House, and Brown. No, I don't think so. I'd want Boogie in there. Jared Allen, cash viable. Not anymore, James. But I mean, I don't hate him as a last piece, but I just don't think he fits the current build that we're seeing here with all the Houston Rockets. Chalk. RJ Barrett or Joe Ingles? I want Ingles, especially if that game's competitive against Philly. Cash lineup, we have Wall, Irving, Nwaba, House, Cousins, Beal, Kennard, and Garland. I like that. I like Garland tonight.
What do you think of Brogdon as a cash play? No, not cash viable today.
Yep. Still like McGee with the rest of the value. Joey's going to be more of a tournament play, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably going to be more of a tournament play. GPP lineup, we have Wall, Beal, Bruce Brown, Sabonis, Mo Wagner, Lou, Kennard, and Jared Allen. All right, getting away from that Houston chalk. I don't hate it. Do you guys think Embiid is going to play tonight? I do, yeah. Yep. Who's going to stop Bradley Beal from dropping 40? Nobody. No one. That's it. No one. Matt, Nwaba or Tate last piece? I think I go Nwaba. He's just cheaper. What are you laughing at me?
You'll see the comment.
Oh. Noel for cash. I mean, what do we have Nerlens' ownership at? Because I loved him in this matchup against Atlanta, but now with all the Houston news, like I feel like he's falling by the wayside.
Bro.
I think he's still carrying some ownership.
Why do you guys hate? I feel like if me and TJ were actually naturally very ugly, you guys would just like hate on everything.
I'm handsome, so I don't care.
I know.
It doesn't bother me. I love it actually.
It's just crazy.
So Mark, I think the Noel cash train has kind of sailed, but like if you're landing on him at 4,400, I still do like him.
Feel bad for other streamers.
How long do you crunch numbers a day? So no, hour and a half. It all depends on the slate size. I'm really quick, honestly, at using the Excel sheet that we have. So
14,
it's pretty efficient.
14% for Nerlens Noel to answer the question.
I think it makes you look majestic. Thank you, Deep.
There, that was the
comment.
I think
you are being rude because it makes you look like one of those that sings the YMCA song. Yeah, 100%. I love the dirty Sanchez mustache. Love that, Matt. Please no hate, but I have to ask, you going for the 80s porn star? Honestly, I was shaving my face, and the last thing I shave is my mustache, and my razor died. So I went
That's
to bed.
The real reason.
Yeah, no,
I
swear on my life. I think this is only the second time I've done it. So like I legitimately was shaving before I showered, and my mustache, I mean my razor died, and I was like, all right, well, what the f am I gonna do now? So I plugged it in, and then when I got out of the shower, I was too lazy, and so I just left it.
That's funny.
Allen or McGee in tournaments? Yeah, I mean both are fine. Thank you, Snow. Barnes love. Yep, we like Barnes. We like Buddy Hield as tournament plays. I thought it was fake at first. Okay, John Collins too cheap on DK. I agree with you. Yeah, I do like him for a tournament play. Thank you, Deep Three. Appreciate that. Having your minutes monitored and having a minutes limit isn't the same thing. Okay. TJ McConnell the GOAT. TJ McConnell the GOAT. No one rostered him but me. I like that, Kyle. The stash has grown in full confidence. I think it fits TJ. Thank you, Steven. Got the Pringles mascot going on. All right, enough with the mustache, guys. Come on. Let's go. Come on,
That's
guys.
all I see.
I know. I love it.
Can't escape it.
The mustache is with great mustache comes great responsibility.
Yep.
Holmes is questionable. Any thoughts on Whiteside, Matt? If Rashawn Holmes sits and Marvin Bagley sits, then I obviously and you all will be playing Marvin Bagley. I mean, excuse me. You all will be playing Hassan Whiteside at center, especially against DeAndre Jordan.
What's his
yeah, definitely something we want to keep an eye on Ardle. So good point right there.
I liked him a lot more when he was 3K. He's at 4.3K right now. Yeah, you'd have to take a couple injuries off the court for me to like him now.
Yeah, if they're both out, man, I mean that just leaves him and Bielisa, honestly. So I would have some there. I guess. Yeah. So it's something we need to monitor for sure.
All right, Grant.
What are you laughing at now?
You get to tell off Grant now.
Okay, Grant, you're trash. Matt, do you want to explain to Mark again? Because I did. Maybe these are from you. Maybe he just missed out. How to join the Discord, and then maybe we should go ahead and jet.
Our Discord is a premium Discord. It's included with our benefits of having a leverage sheet for every single sport, favorite GPP plays, favorite cash plays. By the way, TJ, I don't know if you know this, we had yet another almost takedown in NASCAR. NASCAR's been absolutely crushing it with our leverage sheets. So huge edge there, huge edge for NBA, huge edge for all the sports, including CSGO, Call of Duty, League of Legends. Am I forgetting any more esports? Yeah, all the esports, guys. We do them all. So, but yeah, I think that's it, TJ. Let's go ahead and get off. We're gonna update the Patreon and everything. Do you have anything else you want to add to the cash core real quick? You want to do cash core?
Yeah, let's do cash core. Sorry, I was just taming my mustache.
Yeah, I saw that. All right, so with Houston, who are we playing from them? TJ, are you gonna include all of them in your cash core?
Wall and Boogie for sure.
Okay.
I think then you want 2 of the 4 that we talked about, or 2 of the 3 at least of those other starters, Tate, Nwaba, and House. And I still obviously love Kyrie.
Okay. I love that. I'm going to be very boring here. I'm going to say John Wall, Nwaba, Cousins, and then I'm going to skip over House and go to Tate. I do like Tate's fantasy points per minute just a little bit more. I think he's going to be more productive, and Tate's been playing a little bit better than House. So I like those 4, and then, yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Jarrett Allen also, if you can get him in as your center, a secondary center for your util, I do like him in your cash lamps as well. So that will wrap up our stream, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed our stream. If you did, subscribe button, notification bell, smash that like button, and we will see you tomorrow on our Tuesday live stream. Let's cash.
Love you guys.